In the past 2 years, I've read over 100 books on psychology, neuroscience, and self-improvement. In this video, I'm going to tell you about my top 5 favorites that I've read so far. Hey, I'm the Improvement Geek sharing scientific self-improvement to help you achieve your goals. Today, as a special treat, I'm joined by Oreo, also known as Improvement Cat. I was going to make this video a top 10 list, but I cut it down to 5, so I'll make the other 5 my honorable mentions. And they are Presence by Amy Cuddy, Relentless by Tim Grover, The Happiness Equation by Neil Pasricha, The Holy !T Moment, that's what it says, by James Fell, and Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. Kicking things off at number 5 is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, which explains the science of sleep. It gives an in-depth explanation of the functions of sleep and how each of our sleep cycles relate to our ability to learn and remember things. It also discusses some of the common things that prevent us from getting good sleep, like caffeine, alcohol, and blue light. Most importantly, the book also talks about the negative physical and mental effects that not getting enough sleep has on us. For example, going over 17 hours without sleep makes our alertness level similar to having a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05%, which is considered to be impaired on the legally drunk scale. Next up at number 4 is The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, which explains the neuroscience of talent and habit development. Considering that most of what we do on a daily basis is habitual, I feel like it's vitally important to understand the science of how our habits are either strengthened or weakened. To summarize, each of our thoughts, emotions, and actions fire a certain neural pathway in our brain. When a pathway is used repeatedly, then the neurons in that pathway become gradually insulated with a substance called myelin. The more myelin a neuron has, the less time and energy it takes for an electrical signal to travel along that neuron. That's why it's so important for us to practice things that we want to learn, and why our brain prefers doing things that we've repeatedly done before. Number 3 is Mindset by Carol Dweck, which explains the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is where you believe that your abilities and your intellect are unchangeable. If you've ever heard someone say, "I hate math and I can't learn it," that's a perfect example of a fixed mindset. On the other hand, a growth mindset believes that your abilities and your intelligence can be improved with effort. For example, a student with a growth mindset would say, "I don't understand this problem, but with some effort I can learn how to do it." The book also explores the other differences in attitudes, behavior, and worldview between the two mindsets, as well as the drawbacks of having a fixed mindset and the benefits of having a growth mindset. I would recommend this book to absolutely anyone that's starting something new, like school, a job, or a new hobby. Coming in at number 2 is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. The central premise of the book is the philosophy that every decision we make either helps us or hurts us to some degree, no matter how small the decision seems to be. Repeated positive or negative decisions eventually become habits, which either propel us forward or drag us backwards. Every day we make countless decisions that either help us or hurt us. Now, most of those decisions are made partially or completely subconsciously because they've been turned into habits. Other decisions are made consciously, but a lot of them don't feel like they really matter all that much. An isolated decision to go get fast food for dinner one night probably won't hurt you too much in the long run, but if it's done repeatedly, then it will wind up doing damage to your health and your wallet. And coming in at number 1, my favorite self-improvement book and my all-time favorite book in general, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is an absolute masterpiece. I cannot say enough good things about this book, but that's not going to stop me from trying. The book actually builds on the concept I was just talking about of small decisions either helping us or hurting us. Clear calls these the titular atomic habits, and he goes in depth explaining how you can improve your own atomic habits. He also explains why you should focus on changing your identity rather than achieving a single goal. For example, you should focus on becoming a healthier person rather than losing a certain amount of weight. For an in-depth summary of the concepts talked about in Atomic Habits, then check out this video right here. I upload fresh sciencey goodness every Saturday morning, so click here to subscribe to make sure you catch them all, and I'll see you in the next one.